working in this small group with people I've known for a long time, we came into the room already with an established degree of familiarity, intimacy, shared history. I've worked with people who are really rigid and like very little flexibility, and people who are like super wide open, and Linda has a little bit of something in the middle, and there's a real sense of curiosity and play, but a really rigorous play.
I feel like everything is important, but she also doesn't take things too seriously. There's an openness, like you're allowed to kind of like let things burst up that isn't forced at all. So then you get to kind of like feel the waves of that as it's happening. But it changes so fast because it's also, we have so much fun.
What am I doing? What am I doing? What am I doing? So that's the openness they were talking about, is like me not knowing what I'm doing. Whenever I make a piece, I feel like I don't quite ever get to where I wanted to get with it. There's always something beyond, which maybe is a good thing. You know, otherwise the piece would encompass the whole world. How will you feel? In this particular piece, you could say that I didn't quite nail my feeling because it's just too hard. I was trying to come to terms with the fact that we disappear from people's memories and trying to be okay with that. Is this really a dance? That is what my mother would ask. And by the way, that's her over there. Yeah, that's my mom in that metal container.
The first time that Mona, Linda's mom's ashes, came into play, she was sitting in the corner and we were dancing, and so I was terrified that we were gonna knock her over. And there was something so funny to me about that. And there she is, and we're dancing around her.
The piece can be like kind of hovering around a pretty heavy topic like death or something that just feels a bit darker, and suddenly out of nowhere there will be a humorous moment or a joke or an absurd image.
Silence.
I remember one time being on stage and looking out at the audience, and one audience member was like red from laughing so hard, and the other one was red from crying.
A diffuse light slowly
A diffuse
filled
light
the space.
slowly
A diffuse
fills the
light
space.
will slowly fill the space.
Just sucker punching you with a tenderness, or with like a, yeah, sucker punching you with a tenderness.
Okay. There we were.
Here we are.
There we will be. As before, surrounded by bodies and faces. Your regard caused our cells to vibrate.
Your regard is causing our cells to
Your
vibrate.
regard will cause our cells to vibrate. In humming anticipation. Then, with our first gesture, we became, we become, we will become an unfolding.
Linda uses language a lot in her work, and I think the language usually serves to complicate meaning.
On our way, ready to be forgotten.
Emotional, sort of heavy, humor, absurdity. Like, she creates these really perfect tapestries of all of those things.
What's funny too is that sometimes you don't know what you're doing, and then you realize, oh, this can mean that. It's like, oh, I'm attracted to this bark, I want to figure out some way of using it, and then you realize, oh, it's like another kind of skin, or it's you know, they're pieces of bark that we're laying on the ground and decomposing, just like our bodies will be in the future. It's like this thing that I carry around with me, and I'm always trying to like gather things to adhere or to infiltrate the idea. The clothes, I had the idea of some kind of negative space that could be defined by something, like a bare spot on the floor.
You know, rolling around in them, pushing them around, tying them together, the weight of them.
But thinking about the traces, the leftovers, the sensations, the memories, time, grief, loss.
I think it's hard to make dances and not be sort of always reflecting on how it's so ephemeral and disappears.
There's always like a goodbye when you're making work. You know, there's always like the moment that you have to kind of like say goodbye to it. We're wild to do that to ourselves over and over again, but we must get something out of it.
To work for 2 years on a show with people that you love and you get to see them like twice a week for 2 years, and then you have 3 nights of a performance, and then it's over.
Because everything's going to disappear. That's just the way of our material, energetic reality. But there's also the kind of disappearances that are like before their time.
I think artistically I've accepted it and want to work with it and create things that like are harder to pin down. Just considering all the ways that Linda has very profoundly informed the way that I make work and the way that I think about making dance. Like I'm already thinking about ways that I'm gonna bring Linda's dance into future work.